So today, we're going to look at something truly different, a radical new idea for an electric motor. This is one that figures out how to get motion without any of the usual current-carrying wires in its spinning parts. Yeah, you heard that right. It's an idea that pretty much challenges everything we've known about motor design for over a century. All right, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get a quick refresher on how basically every motor you've ever used works. Then we're going to dive into a classic engineering problem, a real head-scratcher. And after that, we'll get to the good stuff, the brilliant solution this new design proposes and what it could mean for, well, everything. To really get why this new invention is such a big deal, we've got to get our heads around the fundamental rule, the secret recipe, really, that powers almost every single electric motor on the planet. So if you were to crack open a regular old motor, you'd see something that looks a lot like this. It's a very specific arrangement of magnets and coils of wire. And they all work together based on one core principle of physics that is the absolute foundation of motor tech. And that principle is called Fleming's left-hand rule. Honestly, this is it. This is the secret sauce for turning electricity into motion. You have a magnetic field, you run a current through a wire in that field, and boom, you get force. The wire moves. It's that simple. But here's the really cool part, the magic ingredient that makes this whole thing work. When electricity flows through a wire, it doesn't just sit there. It generates its own unique circular magnetic field all around it. And that circular field, that's the whole ball game. Okay, so what happens when you take that wire with its little circular field and you stick it inside another bigger magnetic field? Well, the two fields can't occupy the same space. They have to interact. They bend, they warp, and they create this area of high pressure on one side and low pressure on the other. The result is this awesome catapult effect that literally flings the wire forward. That's your force, that's your motion. So if this whole thing is just about making magnetic fields bump into each other, it kind of begs a really obvious question, doesn't it? Why do we even need the electricity and the wire at all? I mean, it seems so intuitive, right? Just arrange a bunch of magnets so they constantly push and pull on each other and get them spinning forever. But it turns out this is a famously difficult problem in engineering, something people have been trying to crack for ages. And believe me, people have tried. So many inventors and engineers have built all sorts of really clever-looking contraptions, like this one. But every single time, they just slam headfirst into the same fundamental roadblocks in physics that stop them from ever getting continuous, useful motion. So what's the deal? Why do these designs always hit a wall? Well, it comes down to a few really stubborn issues. First, there's something called magnetic cogging. This is where the spinning magnets get stuck in these comfortable, stable spots, kind of like a golf ball settling into a dip in the green. It just doesn't want to move. Then there's ACK-EMF, where the very force of repulsion you're trying to use actually creates an opposing force that fights against the motion. And finally, you get this magnetic spring effect, where the rotor gets trapped between pushing and pulling forces and just jiggles. The whole system finds its happy place, its balance point, and rotation just stops. Dead. And this is where the big light bulb moment happens in this new design. The inventor realized that trying to use that simple push and pull of magnets was just the wrong way to think about it. The real goal was something way, way cleverer. And here it is. This is the absolute core insight. To build a motor that works with just magnets, you don't copy the simple push and pull. No. You have to figure out a way to make a permanent magnet create that magic circular magnetic field, the one you normally only get from a wire with current running through it. Which brings us to the hero of our story, a totally new kind of magnetic object, engineered from the ground up to do that one specific thing. Just look at this. It's brilliant. This is a cross-section of what's called a compound magnet. And what it does, using this really clever combination of different materials, is permanently lock a magnetic field into a perfect looping circular pattern. It's exactly like the field around a live wire, but it's permanent. No electricity needed. So, how on earth does it work? Well, think of it like a team of specialists all working together. You've got a main donut-shaped magnet, the toroid, whose job is to contain the whole field. Then you have these 4 triangular polymagnets that actually generate that circular flow. And finally, you have 4 soft iron cores that act like little traffic cops, guiding that magnetic flow and making sure it stays perfectly circular. Okay, so we've built our magic magnet. We have a permanent object that acts just like a wire carrying current. Now, we can finally build our motor. And this right here is the whole invention in one picture. On the left, you've got the textbook example, a wire with current in a magnetic field gets pushed. On the right, you have our compound magnet. It's sitting in the exact same external field, and it experiences the exact same push, the same propulsive force, but with absolutely zero electricity flowing through it. It's just incredible. So this is what the full motor looks like in this design. You simply take 6 of these compound magnets, you arrange them in a circle on a rotor, and you place that whole assembly inside a stationary external magnetic field. Now let's zoom right in on just one of those magnets. When that external field, which is just moving in straight lines, hits our compound magnet, look what happens. Its own circular field forces those straight lines to bend and wrap all the way around it.
And there it is, just like we saw with the wire. That bending of the magnetic field lines creates that perfect catapult effect. It generates a clean, smooth, continuous force that pushes the rotor forward, and it completely sidesteps all those sticky problems like cogging that killed all those earlier designs.
Okay, that's the how, but what about the why? Why does any of this matter? What's the big picture here? Well, the big takeaway is that this is way more than just one clever gadget. It's a proof of concept. It shows that it's physically possible to get motor force without needing wires and the spinning part. And that can unlock whole new families of motors. I mean, imagine super reliable motors for deep space missions where you can't do repairs. Or motors that could work in extreme heat or cold that would destroy normal wiring. It basically gives engineers a whole new toolbox to play with. So we've just walked through a problem that has stumped engineers for generations, and a solution that is truly out of the box. And it leaves us with one pretty mind-blowing final question. After more than 100 years of just refining the same basic idea, could the fundamental technology that makes our world move be on the verge of a massive change?